I looked up from my plate. What house sale? Your mountain house. Well, technically it's been empty for 2 years while you're off playing doctor in New York. I found buyers who'll close Monday. Perfect timing. The crypto market is primed for my launch. Mom beamed at him. Derek's finally found his calling. The CryptoVault whitepaper is very impressive. I set down my fork carefully. You can't sell my house. Derek laughed. Riley, you abandoned it. You moved to New York for your residency and never came back. That's prime Colorado real estate sitting empty while I need capital for a legitimate business opportunity. It's my house. I bought it. You bought it with the inheritance from Uncle Marcus. That was supposed to be split between us, but he favored you because you went to medical school. I'm just correcting an old injustice. Derek pulled out his phone showing me listing photos. Already accepted an offer. $870,000 cash, close on Monday. You'll get $200,000 for your cooperation. Pie cooperation? My voice came out flat. In selling my own property? Dad's been handling the paperwork as my attorney, in fact. It's all legal. The buyers are already planning their move. This is happening. I looked at Dad, silent at the head of the table. He wouldn't meet my eyes. You gave Derek power of attorney over my property? Not exactly, Dad said quietly. But family helps family, Riley. You're making $70,000 in your residency and working 80-hour weeks. You don't have time for property management. Derek needs this opportunity. So you decided to sell my house without asking me. We're telling you now, Mom interjected. Before the closing. That's considerate, isn't it? You have until Monday to collect anything personal you want. Derek leaned back confident. The crypto market is about to surge. CryptoVault will 10x this investment within 6 months. When I'm a millionaire, you'll thank me for making this happen. I stood up. I need to make a call. Oh, don't be dramatic, Mom sighed. Sit down and finish your lunch. I walked outside and called the one person who'd understand the legal implications. Marcus Chin, a real estate attorney I'd worked with when I purchased the property. Marcus answered immediately. Riley, good to hear from you. How's the residency? My brother is selling my Colorado mountain house tomorrow. He claims he has power of attorney. What? That's impossible. We structured that purchase with enhanced title protection specifically because you mentioned family issues. Hold on. I heard typing. Riley, when you bought that property 3 years ago, we filed it under Colorado's protected ownership statute. Remember? It requires biometric verification and personal appearance for any sale or transfer. No one can sell that property except you in person at the county recorder's office. My hands stopped shaking. I remember. I just forgot. Your brother can't sell. Even if he forged power of attorney documents, which is fraud, the county recorder won't accept them. They'll require you physically present with 2 forms of ID and fingerprint verification. He says the closing is Monday. Not legally, it's not. What title company is handling this? I pulled up Derek's photos. Rocky Mountain Title Services. I'll call them right now. This sale cannot proceed. If it somehow does, it'll be void and everyone involved could face criminal charges. Marcus called back 15 minutes later. I spoke with Rocky Mountain Title. They never verified the protected ownership status. Your brother submitted a general power of attorney, and they accepted it without checking county records. Can they do that? They're not supposed to, but many title companies skip verification to save time and money. Your brother exploited that gap. I've now sent them the county recorder's documentation showing protected ownership status. I've also filed an emergency restraining order blocking any transfer. The sale is dead. What happens to the buyers? They'll be upset, but they're protected. They haven't actually bought anything. The sale was never legally possible. Your brother, however, committed fraud by claiming authority he doesn't have. What should I do? Document everything. Keep records of Derek's claims, Dad's involvement, all communications. If they pressure you, it strengthens the fraud case. Riley, this is serious. Your brother tried to steal an $870,000 property. Derek called at 6:30 p.m., his voice tight with rage. What the hell did you do? I protected my property. The title company is canceling the closing. They're saying something about protected ownership status and biometric verification. You sabotaged my business opportunity. I stopped you from committing real estate fraud. This isn't fraud. That house has been sitting empty for 2 years. I found buyers willing to pay top dollar. I was doing you a favor. By stealing my house and keeping $670,000 for your crypto scheme? It's not a scheme. CryptoVault is a legitimate blockchain. You wouldn't understand because you're just a medical resident who knows nothing about business. I know you can't sell property you don't own. That's pretty basic business knowledge. Dad said this was legal. He prepared all the documents. Dad isn't a real estate attorney. He's a tax accountant. And preparing fraudulent power of attorney documents is a crime. Silence. Derek. You're really going to block this? I've already promised investors I'd have capital by Tuesday. I've signed contracts. If I don't close this deal, I lose everything. Then you shouldn't have gambled on stealing my house. I hate you, he said quietly. I've always hated you. Uncle Marcus gave you everything because you were the golden child who became a doctor. I got nothing. This was my chance to finally have something, and you're destroying it because you're selfish. Keep the house or keep you as a brother. That's my choice, and I'm choosing the house. He hung up. Mom called Monday morning at 8 a.m. Riley, the buyers are threatening to sue Derek for their earnest money and moving expenses. They gave notice on their apartment. They hired movers. This is a disaster. It's Derek's disaster. He created it. You need to authorize the sale. This family cannot afford a lawsuit. I'm not authorizing anything. The house isn't for sale. You don't even use it. You're in New York 24/7 doing your residency. That beautiful mountain property is wasted on you. I pay the mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. I visit when I can. It's mine. Derek needs this money for his business. CryptoVault could make him a millionaire. Are you really going to ruin his future over a house you abandoned? I didn't abandon it. I moved for my medical career. That's different. Your father and I are very disappointed in you. Derek is your brother. Family supports family. Family doesn't commit fraud against family. She hung up. Dad called at 11 a.m. Riley, I need you to understand something. I prepared those power of attorney documents in good faith. Derek convinced me you'd want this sale. I didn't know about the protected ownership status. Did you ask me if I wanted to sell? Silence. Dad. Derek thought it would be easier to present it as a done deal. You're so busy with residency, we didn't want to burden you with decisions. So you decided to sell my house without my knowledge or consent, and you're surprised I'm blocking it? Derek has already spent $30,000 preparing for this business launch. He took out loans against the expected sale proceeds. If this falls through, he'll be financially ruined. That's not my problem. He's your brother. He tried to steal my house. That makes him a criminal, not a brother I need to protect. If you press this, I'll lose my relationship with my son. Is that what you want? What I want is for my family to stop trying to steal from me. If that costs me relationships, so be it. I hung up. The county recorder's office called Tuesday afternoon. Dr. Riley Morrison? This is Janet Alvarez from Boulder County Records. I'm calling about the property at 2847 Pine Ridge Road. Yes. We've received multiple inquiries about transferring this property. I want to confirm, you did not authorize any sale or transfer, correct? Correct. My brother attempted to sell it using fraudulent power of attorney documents. That's what I suspected. I've flagged your property with additional protection. Any future transfer attempt will trigger immediate notification to you and law enforcement. I'm also reporting this to the district attorney's office. Is that necessary? Dr. Morrison, someone attempted to transfer an $870,000 property using false documents. That's felony fraud. The DA needs to know. The investigation moved faster than I expected. Detective Sarah Williams called Wednesday morning. Dr. Morrison, I'm investigating the attempted fraudulent sale of your property. I need to ask some questions. She interviewed me for 90 minutes. I provided Derek's texts, Dad's admissions, Mom's voicemails pressuring me to authorize the sale. This is a clear-cut fraud case, Detective Williams said. Your brother created false documentation, your father prepared fraudulent legal papers, and your mother participated in the conspiracy. All three could face charges. Even Mom. She knew the sale was unauthorized and actively pressured you to approve it after the fact. That's conspiracy and accessory to fraud. My stomach twisted. What happens now? The DA will review the case. If charges are filed, and they likely will be, your family members could face felony convictions, prison time, and significant fines. Charges were filed in August. Derek Morrison. Attempted real estate fraud, filing false documents, conspiracy to commit theft. $50,000 bail. David Morrison. Dad, conspiracy to commit fraud, preparation of fraudulent legal documents. $25,000 bail. Linda Morrison. Mom, conspiracy to commit fraud, accessory to attempted theft. $25,000 bail. The local news ran the story. Family conspiracy. 3 charged in attempted $870,000 property theft. My phone exploded. Aunt Karen, how can you destroy your own family over a house? Uncle Tom, Derek made a mistake. You're sending your parents to prison over a misunderstanding. Cousin Beth, everyone knows you don't use that house. This is cruel. I blocked them all. The trial was in November. Prosecutors presented the fraudulent power of attorney documents, the text messages between Derek and Dad planning the sale, Mom's voicemails admitting they hadn't asked me about selling. Derek's attorney argued he'd misunderstood property law and believed the inheritance should have been split equally. The prosecution destroyed that by showing Derek had researched protected ownership statutes 6 months before the attempted sale. He knew exactly what he was doing. Dad's attorney claimed he'd acted in good faith. The prosecution showed Dad's law degree and 30 years as a tax professional. He knows the difference between legitimate and fraudulent legal documents. Mom's attorney painted her as a confused mother caught in the middle. The prosecution presented her voicemails. Just authorize the sale so Derek can succeed. Who cares if it's technically yours? The jury took 6 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing was brutal. Derek. 3 years in federal prison, $870,000 restitution, 5 years probation, lifetime ban from real estate transactions. Dad. 18 months in federal prison, $290,000 restitution, disbarment proceedings, permanent prohibition from practicing law. Mom. 1 year in federal prison, $145,000 restitution. The judge was harsh. This court has seen many fraud cases, but family conspiracies are particularly disturbing. The defendants targeted their own daughter and sister because they believed she was vulnerable due to geographic distance and demanding work schedule. They planned this theft for months, created false documents, and showed no remorse when confronted. The message must be clear. Family relationships don't exempt anyone from fraud consequences. Derek stared at me with pure hatred as they led him away. Mom sobbed. Dad looked broken. I felt nothing. I took a week off from my residency and flew to Colorado. Spent 5 days at the mountain house. Hiked the trails Uncle Marcus and I had explored. Sat on the deck watching sunrise over the peaks. The house was worth $870,000 when Derek tried to sell it. It's worth $1.1 million now. He'd planned to keep $670,000 for his crypto business and give me $200,000 of my own money. His crypto business never launched. CryptoVault was a concept with no actual technology. Derek had planned to use my house sale to hire developers to build something he'd already promised to investors. It was a scam built on theft. I returned to New York and finished my residency. Got a position at Mount Sinai, salary $220,000. Bought a small apartment in Brooklyn. I still own the mountain house. Visit 4 times a year now. Sometimes alone, sometimes with colleagues who need a break from the city's intensity. Derek gets out in 2 years. Dad in 6 months. Mom in 3 months. I have no plans to see any of them. Uncle Marcus's widowed wife, Aunt Helen, is the only family I speak to. She visits the mountain house twice a year. Marcus would be proud, she told me last visit. He left you that house because he knew you'd protect it. He knew your family would try to take it. You proved him right. Mom wrote from prison last month. I didn't open the letter. Dad sent an email asking if I'd write a character letter supporting his early release. I deleted it. Derek posted on social media from prison about family betrayal and greedy siblings. I blocked him years ago. My extended family mostly sided with Derek. The poor son trying to launch a business, destroyed by his selfish sister who didn't even use the house. They ignore several facts. I paid $320,000 for the house with my inheritance. I maintained it faithfully for 3 years. Derek tried to steal it and keep 77% of the proceeds. His business was a scam with no actual product. But facts don't matter when family wants a villain. I learned something important during all this. Protecting yourself isn't cruelty, even when family calls it betrayal. My family tried to steal my house because they thought I wouldn't fight back. Because I was far away, overwhelmed with residency, too nice to press charges. They were wrong. I fought back. I won. And I'm keeping the mountain house. Not because it's worth $1.1 million. Because Uncle Marcus trusted me with it. Because it's the last piece of family that chose me for who I am, not what I could provide. And because nobody, not my brother, not my parents, not anyone, gets to take that and call it family love. The house sits at 9,000 feet, surrounded by aspen and pine. Every time I visit, I remember Uncle Marcus teaching me to identify constellations from the deck. Some things are worth protecting, he'd said. Even from people who claim to love you. He was right.